Hey guys, today we'll be explaining the Analects of Confucius 5.28, the last chapter of Book 5. And of course we'll move on to Book 6 the next time we see each other, but this is a really good one because it ties directly to the first chapter of the first book, which is again 1.1, because it both talks about the love for learning. And without further ado, let's get started. 5.28, the master said, "In a village of 10 households, surely there are those who are willing to do their best and are trustworthy as I am. But there is no one who loves learning as much as I do." Okay, so basically Confucius is talking about the village in which he grew up in, where there are only 10 families, we can say 10 households. And since they grew up near each other and in the same environment, Confucius thinks that there most likely are people who are as trustworthy as he is and as loyal as he is. So let's just define these two for just a little second. So trustworthiness, there's two types. Number one, external, as in you're doing what you said you would do, and that's a very social perspective, because if you say, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour every day of the week, and if you don't do that, then that's not you keeping true to your word. But trustworthiness in the external point of view is when you do go to the gym for 1 hour a day and 7 days a week. Or another type of this external thing is when you keep your promises, as in, I promise that I'll give you your money back, but I just need to borrow it for something. And if I do give you the money back, then that's me being trustworthy and keeping my promises to you. And that is also a way of respect, we can say. And the internal type of trustworthiness is, so we all know that we I guess most of the time we know right from wrong. We know what is the right decision and what is the wrong decision. But we also tend to lie to ourselves, and we could make excuses that can twist the truth, and essentially we don't have to confront the truth anymore. So that's lying to yourself. So that's being not honest and not trustworthy to yourself. And by being trustworthy to yourself, then you're admitting your mistakes, just like we talked about in 5.27. We understand that whatever we did was wrong, or we just don't lie to ourselves in the first place, and stay true to doing what we know is right. And then loyalty is actually really well defined. And loyalty is actually defined very well in this passage, and is translated as willing to do their best. So loyalty is really just trying the best that you can do and giving your wholehearted dedication to the task that you're doing. And it's usually some kind of service to someone. And yeah, I think that's all. And the last sentence, which is the most important, because of course Confucius was and still is a very famous scholar and philosopher, and so people sometimes may ask him, "Oh, why are you so smart?" or why are you so great even though we grew up next to each other? And Confucius responds with, there's no one who loves learning as much as I do. So your love of learning, that is what essentially a gentleman is meant to do. And we can see this reflected across Confucian cultures, I guess, which are places mostly in East Asia. In Confucianism, gaining knowledge is one of the most important things you can possibly do, because of course we look at the sky and the earth, and they're always changing, and we are always changing too, or at least we try our best to, and we only get that by learning. So I don't know if this is a common experience, but I do look back at my younger self and think, wow, I was really stupid back then. And of course, probably 1 or 2 or 3 years later, I'll look back at myself right now and I'll think, wow, this version of me was really just really ignorant, I guess. And that's only because I grew or I learned something in those years. But there are some people, and I've seen a lot of these people, who don't really change at all, and they don't share this feeling of, the feeling that our past self was somewhat different from our present self. And of course, learning also enables us to know how to become a better person, which is essentially what the Analects talks about. And when we do learn how to become a better version of ourselves, then we can know more about what deeper things really mean, deeper spiritual things, and maybe we can even achieve what Buddhists call enlightenment. And essentially, that is what learning means. And one thing to note is that when you love learning, that's when you will actually try to learn something, make an actual effort to. Because if you're doing something that you don't like, you'll naturally just stop doing it, because, well, you don't like doing it, and if there's no external force trying to force you into doing it, then you naturally won't. But Confucius loved learning, just like Yan Hui, his favorite disciple, who also loved learning and also wanted to cultivate his character and make himself the best that he could possibly be and unleash his full potential. And those two give, and both Yan Hui and Confucius give us a very good model of what someone who loves learning is meant to do. So focused and deeply, totally committed to this act of just learning that they don't really care about anything else, except for Confucius. Confucius is really awesome, and he cares about learning and then using that knowledge to help others. And I should probably also know, oh my gosh, I forgot, that this kind of learning isn't just school learning. It's not just learning so that you can prepare for a test. Because really any type of, knowledge is considered learning, because learning doesn't just happen in school. Confucius instead argues that it's a lifelong journey of constantly gathering knowledge. So that can be even something as basic as farming, or gardening, or just reading, or practicing calligraphy or art, and something that is worth learning about, or whatever that might mean to you. And yeah, that'll be all today, and I will see you in book 6. Bye!